This is Yerushalmi Shevi'is in the article Oz Bar edition. We are on Daf Nun Hammer Alf, the fourth line. Yichlif Yain B'Shem, Machlif Yain B'Shemen, which in the Vilna edition is Daf Yud Tesam Aleph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 lines down. The first two words in lines are Shechulin. And it says Hichliv Yain B'Shemen. And of course, this is the Yerushalmi Shevi'is Chus and Yeshua for the hostages and the soldiers in Gaza and of Eretz Yisrael, of Klal Yisrael. Today, we are doing, Hichliv Yain B'Shemen. You switched instead of wine, oil for oil, you switched wine for oil. So, Kamadat Amar Yain ain't sucking also. Wine, you can't anoint with it. It's not its derech. And Kamanaki puts in also Eimad Likinbo. You can't ignite it. The Kavasa, you can't make a fire with it. Kavasa Shemen, so too oil, the Kamanaki puts in Ein Sachin also. You can't anoint with it. Ein Malikin, and you can't light with it. So in other words, if you switch wine for oil, you're up the creek, because even though oil can normally be used for anointing and for lighting, but if you switch the two, so then you can't. Since since the shemen became the dmei yain of shvius, we put it at the chumras of yain, and therefore you can't anoint it with it, and you can't light with it, even though that's normally what you would do. The hichlif alin. You switched leaves for shoots. So shoots don't normally have biur, we've seen it already, and leaves do have biur. So what have you switched it to? So hichlif alin beluvin k'matamar alin yeshne biur. Since the alin have biur, the kavasa lulavin, so to lovin, which became the dmei alin, they became the purchase price of the alin. Now have yesh and biur as well. They now have biur as well. Hichlif ochle adam b'ochle behema. You switch the human food for animal food. Kamatem ochle adam enosim mem lugma. Just like ochle adam, you can't make of them the plasters and use it for medicinal purposes. Kavasa ochle behema. Now the ochle behema also, you can't use it for enosim mem lugma. Vathinon mochrin ochle adam v'ochle behema likach bohem. I think this actually is no, it's a question. Vatanya, didn't we learn a brisa? I thought it might be a raya. Vatanya, didn't we learn in a brisa? Mochrin ochle adam v'ochle behema. You can sell the food which is suitable for human beings, the food which is suitable for food destined for human beings, and food destined for animals. You can sell them both to buy human food, which is either lateral or an upgrade. But you can't sell the animal food in order to purchase animal food, even though that's a lateral. So the Kamanaki explains that they're not choshev to me okay, they are not significant that they're going to transfer the kedusha to the money. So in essence, the kedusha shvius on the ochle bema will not be realized, because you took it off the ochel, and it didn't take effect on the money. So what are you supposed to do? Uh, and certainly you can't sell the ochle adam to make the ochle adam to buy ochle behema. We just said that, right? Ochle behema. So I want to see read bars here. Hilchif ochle adam ochle behema. Kamad the tamar ochle adam enosim memlukma kavasa ochle behema enosim memlukma. Perish kim ochle behema ba me ochle adam, since the ochle behema came from ochle adam. Hareidina come ochle adam, then its halacha is the same as ochle adam. Well, part of the Mara asked, "Well, did we learn mochin ochle adam ochle behema lika ben ochle adam? You can sell ochle adam ochle behema to buy ochle adam a lo ochle behema, but not ochle behema. I have lo ochle behema, not ochle behema lika ben ochle behema. Because can ochle adam lika ben ochle behema. Can suchamar can girsa betosefta. In can I'm not sure what girsa I actually said in the Gemara because I was doing the kavanaki, so I'm not sure what the girsa actually was. The Gemara, I apologize about that. Anyway, so the question is, how do you have ochle behema come from ochle adam? Halo chala chalifin. The exchange does not take effect. Sheichliv ochle adam ochle behema doesn't take effect. In kain hech mishkaslo she ochle behema ba midoch ochle adam. How can you have ochle behema come from ochle adam? Umishani, and now we're going to see the answer. The kiadah, kifta the arka. The case is a case of a knif diyarka, where you switch ochel adam for another ochel adam, which is a vegetable, and you are mechanic it, meaning you cut the wilted leaves, and those wilted leaves now become machal behema after they dry up, and since it comes from machal adam, you can't make for malugma. That's what the Ridbar says. Mafkin leila agre v'yaveshamin garme. Mafkin leila agra. You put the maskin leila agra. Sorry, maskin leila agra. You take it up to the roof, and it dries, and it becomes machal behema. Page nine. Ochel behema meochel adam atzma. In this case, you're allowed to you switch ochel adam for ochel adam, so it's okay. You didn't try to switch ochel adam for ochel behema, which is not okay. But you switch ochel adam for ochel adam. Yet you came out with ochel behema because the wilted leaves, so now it became ochel behema. So if that's the case, you have a case ochel behema which came legitimately from ochel adam, and that now you can't use some malugma. This is a quote from the Pasuk Shulchan. Mutim kol ochli adam ochli behema l'kach mehem ochli adam. Aval ein mochin ochli behema l'kach mehem ochli behema. You can't go that over for ochli behema cheres. Ve'eno tzorech l'mar she'em mochim ochli adam l'kach mehem ochli behema. V'lacha b'hem mechlif bohem. What if he did it? So then, like we said, ochli adam ochli behema. Harei heina kol ochli adam. You can't make them look with them. You took the wilted leaves and dry them now suitable for animals. You can give to eat to an animal, and make them for a melugma. But you can't sell that knivas hayerek and make for it and those dried wilted leaves and buy with them other ochel behema. If you were machlib ochel adam miknivas yerek, which you were not supposed to do, and put it on top of the roof to dry, also you can't use it for malugma for adam. Okay, says Mar Rabbi. Rabbi Yochanan Shimon ben Yotzadok, b'yain ara Pesach. This is you're allowed to use wine of Shemitah in the house until Pesach Motzei Shevi'is, because then all the wine is gone from the vineyards in the field. and out of the vineyards from the wine presses in the field. It's interesting. So even though you don't evidently doesn't go after the same beer as grapes. I don't know what the beer for grapes is, but this is not. Wine has its own. It's my beer, which goes after when there no longer is wine out in the field. But that's not what the Pasuk Shulchan says. He says no. That was based on Kavanaki. But the Pasuk Shulchan says it's the same thing as grapes. I do with the Yekev. Whatever's left in the wine presses has to do with grapes and grapes until Pesach. So I'm not sure whether the Kavanaki gave his own shot. He couldn't have the Pasuk Shulchan shot here. But Shem HaTzeres, you can use oil into Shavuos, Ubugrogros, and dry dates at Purim, until Purim. Rabbi Shem Mechina said, B'dmorim ad HaChanukah, until Chanukah of Shminis. Now we go on to the next part of our Mishnah, which is Klipe Rimon, which were used for dyes and H-Flow, and Klipe Gozim, and Galinim, where the pits of dates and olives which are used for oil have Shevi'is in the main Shevi'is. So the Gemara says about this, Rabbi Ila b'Shem Rabbi Shimon bar Avah, Rabbi Yochanan b'Chavusei, Rabbi Yochanan and his Chabura, his Chaver Haviyasi Makshin, they're sitting and asking. This was concerning the Klipe Rimon. Amr Yeshem Bior or Ein Lem Bior. Klipe Rimon and other things. It doesn't say in this part of the Mishnah anything about Bior. I'm trying to figure out to tell you Shai Torah Yisrael, which I skipped before. I will. Shai Torah Yisrael says before that you only see there's 3 arotas lebiur. So why are they mentioned here? 3 arotas, Yudah, Go, and Eber Yarden. What time, when the beer is for the wine or for the dates, etc. So he says something which is miskaim with Dman Meruba, something which lasts for a long time. Evidently, it's all the same. Something which is not stocked about for a long time, because it can't be preserved, so it has different times when it goes scarce in each land. But something which can be stocked about for a long time, so it's universal when the things are no longer available. It's a nice idea. So again, we're asking about these things in Mishnah. Yesh lebir, ein lebir. Ava Rabbi Yanai passed by. They said, "Ha Gavra Mishani." This is a person to whom we can ask this question. Let's go ask him. Asu Shuli came and asked him. Kol davar shedarko lishor. Anything which falls off a tree. Yesh lebir. So that's beer, because at some point it stops falling off the tree and it's no longer available to the animal. Shein darko lishor, anything which doesn't fall off the tree. Ein lo beer, doesn't have beer. So the way the Kavanaki explains it, anything which the Shein darko lishor, these or he says their new fruit already grows before the old ones have fallen off the tree. So therefore, by definition, they don't have a color and they have no beer. Okay, so he says, and they I guess they asked him which are they. Right? They asked him which are dark lishor, which are ain't dark lishor. V'sora tanimine, and he went. Rabbi Yanai left in order because he didn't want to give precise definitions. I guess they were not available to him at the time. Okay, the Gemara goes on now to another topic. Just want to check her up right now. So Hatzaba Tzovea. This is actually the next part of the Mishnah. Tzaba Tzovea Latzma below Yitzba B'Schar. Right. So Mal Yitzba B'Tava Sanoya. Can you be Tzovea for Tava Sanoya? In other words, you do it for free, but he owes you. He's grateful to you for doing it. And maybe he'll express you didn't charge him, but maybe he'll express his gratitude in some tangible way. Mimad time for that which we learned in a brisa. Hashalshuyis v'achachil b'chel vanon, which are grasses which are made for dyeing. Hatagar osel latzmo. The merchant can do them, make them for themselves. Um, uh, and not to other people. In other words, he can only die for himself, not for other people, even though this is not his derech. That's not his job. If he does as a favor. So evidently he's now doing it as a favor. That means it's also litzvah b'tova sanoah. You can't be tovea for even for the gratitude being expressed in some other way. Okay. Enosim schar v'chulei. You can't. Well, that's the header in the Kavanaki and in the art school. Not in the Vilna. Very different than Vilna. Enosim schar v'chulei. Tani. There is a whole part here in the Kavanaki. It's different. In the Gemara it says, "Ksiv tmeim hem alachem, matam lom tmeim yulachem." It says, "Tmeim hem alachem," and yeah. So the Rasubrilio has a different Girsa, which is the Kavnaki's Girsa. The Haki Ksiv Sheket Tmeim Lachem, matam lo Sheket Yulachem. The Haki Ksiv Ikray. Sforim Ksiv, that's the Gemara, it says, Tmeim Heim Lachem, Matam Lomar, Tmeim Yulachem. But those Sofrimu, that's a mistake. The Ukra, Betana Vikirayim Ksiv, that's talking about different types of ovens. V'lo B'shrotzim, not talking about rodents and creepy crawly things, which is our topic here, because it says in our Mishnah, nothing to do with Tanor B'Kirayim, right? So therefore, it says Sheket Seim Lachem, and Tmei Yolachem has to do to Matara, and the Sheket Seim Lachem has to do with, evidently, we are learning that it has to do with, that has to do Tanor B'Kirayim altogether, and this puzzle is about Shrotzim. So it says, so you're not allowed to make money off the shkotzim ramasim, off the non-kosher things. Tani, we learn kol davar isur divar Torah. It's obviously an asmachta because isur is there's no isra noya midoraisa on these things. So the article brings down, it's from the Rash Cirilio. Echad Yisrael Hanoya. So we'll see from the Yisrael from the Rash Cirilio. Echad Yisrael Hanoya Kumar Harvacha. Now to make money. It's not true Hanoah. Not Hanoah from them. Now to make a living off them. The Ilu Hanoya Hatnamasis inside the Chayav Ovas Dogim. It says you're allowed to, if you get it by cry, you get it just by a happenstance. You're allowed to sell them. So for the first Matoris Chaim Ma'asav Perkol Shah and brings down Pesachim. L'siv Lachem Shalachem Yeh. It's yours. Porchiach Efil Chatchila Nami. So if that's the case, you should be able to even Chatchila. Perish Rashi Zal Yemutar the Chazer Chen Taylor be allowed to hunt them down, but Dafka to make money off them. Mishani Amar Krav Sheket Yulachem Ba'avayos and you. No, that Sheket Yulachem means they remain at a remove. So therefore, the Isser Noya here is not an Isser Noya Mamish, but it means an Isser Schleira. Tani, we learned in the Brisa Kol Davar Isur Dvar Torah. Anything which is Isur Dvar Torah. Also, so you're not allowed to use it for commercial purposes, make commerce of it. If it's only the rabbanon, so mutatos b'schora, you're allowed to use it for schora. Varei chamor, what about a donkey, right? Why allowed to sell donkeys? It's a it's an Torah. No, you don't sell for food. You sell for work. That's okay. What about a camel? Also, you do it for its work. Rabbi Yosha used to give and take, meaning do commercial activity with murios, which is an Isra Rabbanan because we're afraid that in this fish oil there was some mixture of usher wine. But this Isra Rabbanan was is Israel allowed to schera. Chaltisa in the chiltis, which was the fennel, which they cut with with the non-Jewish knives, and maybe even the shamnunis would go on the fennel and make it usher, but that was not a true Issa Doraisa, so therefore they were they're makel to do schera with it. Yeah. So the Rashi brings out, even though there are those who hold that it's a doraisa, here the Gemara holds these are Yisuri Rabbanan because it's Stam Yenam, and maybe because the Shamnun is not Be'ain. Whatever the case may be, bottom line is somehow these became Yisuri Rabbanan, and therefore they're allowed to do schayr with them. And that will bring us to the end for today.